And we are live. Dun dun dun. Except this one won't be recorded for posterity, so here we are. Okay. It's been a while, folks. Trying to do something here, but this not working quite right. Well, what do you expect? Alright, let's try this. Oops. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Come on, man. Okay. See if I can invite some folks. Where is my list of people? Completely, utterly unprofessional. So sorry. So sorry, everybody. I apologize. Let's try that. Let's find. What? Oh, fiddlesticks. The new X has locked me out. Well, come on. I swear, all I wanted to do was just draw, folks. Authenticate your account. Make sure you're a real person. I assure you, I am a real person. There. Dun dun dun. Who's here? Double fire.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm just fucking around. Just fucking around.
Yeah. Wanted to stream, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Trying. If this will let me. I was
I'm
trying to.
having my morning coffee. Is that
Oh,
okay?
wow.
It's not morning, but
No, it's definitely not morning.
first cup of the day. Yeah, I'm about halfway through.
All right.
I put lime juice in my coffee, just a little bit, and I do dilute it down because it is quite tart.
I wish I liked coffee. I really do.
Yeah. Are you supposed to medically? Are you supposed to drink it?
I could drink coffee. It's just anything with carbonation I'm not supposed to have.
Okay.
But yeah, I love the smell of coffee. I can't stand the taste. No matter how it's doctored up, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
yeah, it sucks.
You have an aversion to coffee, but
Yeah,
not to caffeine.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I got these
What
body
is
body armor body armor edge. They have a caffeine boost in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
where is it? 140 milligrams of caffeine. So I will take it.
I have a question for you, Mike.
I might have an answer for you.
Okay. All right. Well, let me find the cover that I'm inking right now. Um, mm, I've got your pages and my pages and all kinds of stuff mixed up here. John Buscema pages. Like this. This is a back cover. This is a wraparound cover. Uh, this is a wraparound cover here that I'm
Okay.
inking.
Oh
And
wow.
on you want any biggin?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me.
Let's see. Everything's opposite here. Always lining up. So you have the heroes on the front and the villains on the back, sort of squaring off.
Mm-hmm.
And my question, huh?
Sorry. My cat just got my foot.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. We got a kitten, and so
Was
it's
that a scream?
that was me going ah.
Okay. Somebody can do something like this arc of the tail or this
Mm-hmm.
one up here. There
Yeah.
we go. Very easily in pencil,
Yeah.
but freehanding it. Now I know I see you're using what, a French curve.
Yep.
Is that what you would recommend? Now I guess I'm using a type of pen here as well, but I'm using different things.
Yeah.
I've used a little bit of brush, but most of it's been different size nib pens. Um, yeah, I just basically freehanded this, but long arcs like this or long lines to make them look seamlessly in ink, since you're setting it basically in cement
Yeah.
at that point, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want to kill the energy, the
Yeah. Dynamism.
yeah, something like that of the
Um.
piece, the energy of the piece, the momentum of the piece. Would you, for long lines like this that you want to see seamlessly? Now I take it as a challenge, but I mean, look, this hooks,
It
so that's
looks
even
good.
worse.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
looks good. Um.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I
don't
would.
think I did too bad for hand,
No. Yeah.
for doing it
Yeah.
freehand, but
If you're doing it freehand, I mean, another way
yeah.
to do it is just to build up the line. Just do like little,
Oh yeah.
just little, do it little by little, and then build it up, and then build the
So
line
you're
weight.
you're saying use multiple nibs
Um. No,
and
you
then
can
go
use this.
larger and larger? Is
You
that
can
what
go.
you're
You can use the same one. What I'm saying for like building up the line. Um.
okay? Take me off screen and
Oh
we'll
yeah.
take a look at what you're mm-mm-mm-mm.
Okay. So
Scrap
you've got
paper.
your.
Here we go. Here, art
Oh,
lesson for Rex.
oh, this is just the back of a page. So, all right. I don't know if you can see that very well.
I can.
Okay. So what I was talking about is like just building. The line's going
Oh,
to eventually get thicker,
oh,
but
a
like
cheat. I got you.
just build up on it and build up on it and build up on it,
Right.
and you can use the same pen. It's just all it is you're just kind of, and then try to, if like how this is just kind of like an arc. If you can put your
Hmm.
palm of your hand down
Yeah.
and then just pivot, like hold the paper down with the other hand, but then just pivot, you'll keep that
Yeah.
arc, because that's kind of like your like if you
What
were doing
you
like
know,
the sword.
if he like I have a sword to do on the front cover, um, and then a trident as well, and those are straight lines. You can use a ruler for that really easy.
Yeah.
And that's a French. Is that a French curve you have there?
Yeah. Yep. That's
Yeah.
one of a
Now,
couple I have.
would you recommend doing it that way?
A sword?
No, not the sword, but the
Oh, the tail?
maybe if it was a curved sword or
If it was a curved sword, absolutely. I
yeah.
would.
But I mean, like those tails I showed you on those characters. Would you recommend using a curve like that? And what if it doesn't like line up? You just pretty much build it up like you showed me?
Yeah, if you can't get like most, I mean, I
I
have a
mean,
couple.
long lines, you're setting it and it has to look, it has to flow. When
Yeah,
inking's really where it comes to life, is it not,
yeah,
Mike? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. But like, I have multiple different French curves, and
yeah, you
if you,
yeah.
and I have smaller ones too.
Hmm.
But if you have a set of French curves,
Right.
the line you're looking for should be somewhere in here. And even if you have to use just like, okay, so like say like this part of the curve is perfect for you, then just ink that line and then move it and then line it up to where the curve of the French curve is lined up with your pencil line, and then ink that, and then just do little bit by little bit. It doesn't have to be just one continuous line done all at once. You can do it in parts, and if it seems like you've got little maybe tick marks where your pen's lifting up and dropping off, that's when you kind of go back over it freehand
Yeah.
and thicken up that line.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've had
that's what
one
I would do.
page inked by another artist, and you can see on the sword, he did it in 3 stages. It wasn't seamless if you look at it closely. Now, maybe when it's
Yeah,
shot down and reduced, you won't see that, but
yeah, probably
uh,
not.
yeah, it was like yeah, when it
Yeah,
got to the tip. So, and
yeah,
when it comes to inking, though, it's supposed to look pretty seamless, right?
yeah. But also, like you said, when it gets reduced down, you might not even see that.
Yeah.
That
But now you have
that
to have
part.
some kind of knowledge at that, I think, or been in, professionally. Yeah, I mean, doing inking, and I tell you what, I'll ink with you a minute. How's that?
Yeah,
I'll just
sounds good.
I'll just although the back covers, I save the problems for last. The things that I'm. Do you,
um,
or do you try and tackle those first? Hey, Mark.
it all depends. Yeah,
He's,
yeah, I am streaming.
he
Long
says,
long
"Oh my
time.
God, he's streaming."
Um, it all depends on, I guess, where I'm at in my day. Like if I'm
Yeah,
fresh and I've got like a lot of energy,
yeah.
then the last thing I want to do is wait till I have no energy to tackle a problem.
Hmm. You're
But then there's
right.
some,
Yeah.
yeah, but then there's sometimes it's like, well, I need to warm up, so maybe I'll do the easy stuff first.
So it really depends on also
Depends on you.
where you're at with the piece, right?
Yeah.
Um, like here, a fresh look. I like to back away and not view it, and then view it with fresh eyes sometimes.
Yep.
If you have the time to do that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's why I work on multiple things at multiple times. If
yeah,
I'm
like
not feeling it, then I back off and I start something different.
the way he drew Bog here, it's he sort of gray tone. So what does that tell me? Is that all in shadow? That's not interesting. That's not detailed. So I have to make some decisions there. But
Yeah.
now, just looking at it now, there's this line that I've already inked that kind of defines the sorry, my crotch area,
The groin area.
the groin area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolfman's got nards. You remember that quote, or
Oh
did you
yeah,
get did
Monster
you
Squad. Monster
Monster
Squad.
Squad?
That's a
There we go.
classic.
I know. I need a Monster Squad T-shirt. I need that in my life. Um, but I have this line here on the leg, and I guess he probably had that line definition there, and I inked it. I can't remember, and so to define the leg a little bit. So that tells me, okay, the crotch area is often inked in black, right?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
total
Usually.
shadow. So that's what I'm going to do now. Uh, I really haven't seen that. Again, fresh look at the piece, and I go, yeah, that's kind of a no brainer. We'll go totally black with that area.
Yeah.
So
If the artist isn't putting like X's in his shaded areas as to define exactly what
right,
absolutely has to be black, then it's up to
yeah,
the ink. It's up to the inker's discretion. So if you feel strongly that that's what you need to do, then that's
Well,
what you do.
anything that I ink, I try and remain true to the artist, in his lines,
Hmm.
not assert myself too much.
So you don't want to
Uh,
be Kevin Nolan.
enhance. Well, I mean, I can tell different inkers. I could tell. I wouldn't say all the time. Terry Austin, Tom Palmer, most of the time.
Yeah.
Uh, Ernie Chan, most of the time. He's also an artist. He's not a. I don't know how we define, an artist. Okay, so, but he would ink some stuff, and he would also, um, draw as well. But
Yeah. And the best inkers are guys that are artists because they
oh yeah,
know they know what
Bob Layton, he did that
oh
wonderful
yeah.
Hercules limited series. He did some Iron Man covers. Still
Oh,
doing a lot of commissions. I see him
oh yeah,
post
he's always
on.
busy. He's always busy.
I see him at posting, being at conventions and with celebrities, and yeah, he's really pretty active. And then
Yeah.
costume color comes in. Really, costume color comes into it as well, right?
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
how deeply you would want to uh, ink something,
Yeah, it's all your prep. I mean,
but
like
you but you
if
had to think around. Okay, this is going to be colored if it's going to be colored, right, or not? And
I don't know. I'm the person that likes to throw just a shitload of detail on stuff, regardless. So,
yeah,
and
overwhelm the senses, eh?
well, you
Eh,
got to hide the flaws somehow. But I don't think I've had a colorist yet like obliterate any line work to where you can't tell.
mhm.
You also have to trust your colors too to take care of you and not strong arm the artwork because there's a lot of artists out there that are really highly detailed and the colorist will just kill their work
Yeah,
like anytime Ryan Stegman does work for Marvel. I know he's using the same colors he did for his creator-owned book Vanish, which was through Image. The Vanish stuff looked amazing, but his Marvel stuff is so muddy looking that you can't really tell what's going on. You can't appreciate the art
yeah.
because I've seen some of the black and whites of some of those pages, and I'm just like, well, where's that at? And it's because the colorist, the
I
colorist, and,
noticed.
and also probably the choice of paper that they print on, obliterates it.
I noticed a lot of artists. Uh, a lot of coloring on covers are too dark. I
Yeah,
mentioned that, and I had forgotten that I'd said that. And Dan Lawless was on the other night and said, "Well, you've mentioned that, Rex. These going back to the '90s, uh, and even further. Some of the a lot of the covers are just too dark, and
yeah,
they are. They're it's just too dark. Uh, you can't. One of the most frustrating things for me, it's not comics, it's movies where they sort of tell but they don't show. Like I watched one of the X-Men movies and all the action because I feel like they don't want to spend the money on CG,
yeah.
and they want to sort of tell and don't show.
Oh
So
yeah.
they put everything in dark. So you're sitting watching a movie that is totally blacked out. What the
Yep.
hell, Mike?
Yep.
That's
Yep. Yep.
frustrating. And
It
you
is
can
frustrating.
adjust your TV screen color and everything, and it's not going to change what they have on film. You
Yeah.
know,
That's
it's
that's
it,
when a movie studio is taking advantage of its just taking
I hate
advantage of its audience, just thinking, oh, they'll see it anyway because it's property X or property Y. You know, the arrogance that they have sometimes. It's like
yeah.
why do you think movies are failing now? It's because people are tired of bullshit. They want good movies. They don't want horse shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I would have thought for sure after, like with like Indiana Jones, I would have thought for sure after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and how much people hated that movie, that they
yeah,
would have learned their lesson to not fuck with the formula, to not. And all they did was they made Indiana Jones basically like Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. They just made him a grumpy old man
yeah.
who's got to be saved by younger people. And
Well, that's okay with Torino, you know.
yeah, I mean, I'm all if you do it where you're not, going out of your way to assassinate the character.
Right. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
what pissed me off about Last Jedi is as soon as Luke threw the lightsaber
and you
over his
know what? The
shoulder, I was like,
executives
"Fuck
might have
that."
said that we hate Clint Eastwood and his movies because
Yep,
they're conservative in their message and they're actually good movies and he's showing
yep.
us up. But
He's a great director.
he's farmed in, so we can't really touch him. He's so big.
Yeah, yeah. He's not somebody you can cancel.
No,
Uh,
no, and he'd have something about it. If they tried to cancel him, they'd have something to say about it. I'm
yeah,
sure.
he would not stay quiet. I'm just like,
No.
I've watched enough anyway, any which way but loose to know I don't want to piss that man off because he'll beat the shit out of me.
That's fake, right?
I know it's fake.
It's fake, man.
You mean the monkey's not real?
What? No, the monkey. No,
I know.
don't get arrogant. See what I did there? Arrogant ape. Yeah,
Right turn, Clyde. Right turn.
yeah. He's not really a. Yeah, I actually went to see those. Even what was that one Joe something the Western that he did?
Uh,
Joe Kidd.
oh,
Joe,
okay.
Joe. Yeah, it was kind of epic fail, for people. But yeah, I used to go to the movies. Now, let me sort of preface that with saying it might have been the discount movies, after
Well,
he's
yeah.
shown at the, because we had a Malco twin that would show re-show films,
Mm-hmm.
and I think for like I want to say like $2 a ticket, you know,
That'd be nice.
yeah.
Have a theater that showed older films.
Well, now these were not like okay Casablanca or something like that. That was like
Oh,
stuff that had been out recently at the
gotcha.
theater, and they were re-showing it. But this would have been back in like the '80s and stuff.
Oh,
When
okay.
when you were born.
When I was born in the 70s.
Oh, okay, all right, all right. Give you some credit. I'm just trying to.
I'm old as hell.
Mm, you say so.
Yeah,
I only have your word to go
that's right.
on that. So I'll put a glow around Devil Flyer's trident. Uh, I guess I could have left that totally up, to the colorist, right? I want it to glow,
Well, they
but
could do a color hold on your inks for the glow and turn the glow into color.
yeah, the black lines that I put that for the radiance, and then
Yeah,
I put the radiance around his wings because his wings glow.
nice. So is this already on Indiegogo or is it coming out?
The ash can is, and then I have the 29 the first Devil Flyer story. I moved up from because I want to get something out here this year, probably
Mm-hmm.
before Christmas to people. Well, now actually, let me back up on that. It will probably be uh, it will probably be January 31st, somewhere at the end of January, and then launch another book probably about March 1st.
Gotcha.
Um, and I'm hoping I can get everything done by that time. Gran Torino was old and still kicking ass, Mark says. Second
Oh, hell
run
yeah.
movies, yeah. Uh, uh, Yeah, I moved up the. I've had the Devil Flyer story done for over a year,
Mm-hmm.
and so instead of waiting till like March 1st, I thought I got to get something out. I still the ash can is still up on Indiegogo. There was only 100 printed, and I there at the end. I didn't have stretch goals. I just added stuff. I added 3 bookmarks, 2 trading cards, and 2 magnets.
Okay.
And so they get a whole complete bundle. Um, done almost $1,300 on it.
Nice.
Almost 13. Not bad for
That's
a little
great.
ash can. You get the first seven
Yeah.
pages of the story out of 29-page story. And you get a big pinup section, one piece done by me, uh, one by the Devil Flyer artist, which will be a trading card on the next campaign, which will be, I moved that story up from Devil Flyer #1 to a prequel.
Okay.
And plus, it was the elephant in the room. It was 29 pages. So it was really constricting the backup stories because I have 6 stories in Devil Flyer #1.
Oh,
Or
okay.
at least, and then Devil Flyer 2, I'll have 5. Number 3, I will have 4. And it's like a countdown till it reaches the climax in 6. And then it's just all Devil Flyer, where all the stories have been combined into the one overarching story. Because all the stories are standalone stories, but they're interlinking.
Nice.
Because I'm trying to do a Marvel DC type universe.
Gotcha.
I just wish I had enough characters, Mike.
Yeah.
Believe me, I have more than enough characters. I'm always designing characters. Recently, well, not recently, but I'm kind of getting out of that. I don't know why, but generally, I did create a new character yesterday. I haven't really just the concept of him, but they've been working me at work,
Oh
a
yeah.
lot. So, but yeah, there for a while, I was like doing 2 characters a day,
Oh
and it
yeah.
was
That's
like
nice.
it was like different. Um, right now, Ryan James is working on a cover for Devil Flyer #6. So that's looking ahead, my friend.
Oh yeah. Oh, you gotta. Yeah, you gotta stay on top of these things because they'll run away from you real quick.
Yeah. Well, it helps me see what direction I'm into as well. I already have, I think, all 3 covers planned for issue 6. The climax one will be done by Dealer Draws, and it'll
Nice.
kind of be not really a true wraparound, but then again, it will. That's all I can say about it. You
All
know,
right.
it's going to be really nice, and it's going to harken back to this prequel because he did me a when I delayed it. We kind of worked together, and he did a cover at. If you want to see it, I'll show you. You probably haven't seen it
Uh.
because Mike doesn't watch my show, even though I'm on daily trying to get his attention. Hello, hello. He doesn't watch.
I don't even do my own show daily, so
Well, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't do your own show. Well, I mean, do your own. I just wouldn't watch my own. And with that said, last night I did a review of all my shows
hmm.
because I'm today's show will be 900 videos
Wow.
that are still up
Huh.
because I had uh we're on episode. I think this will be 459. Um,
Wow.
Well, when you do daily, we'll be to 500 before you know it, and 1,000 before you know
Oh
it. It'll
heck
take
yeah.
a little while, but we'll get there. Uh, just chip away at that stone. All right, and where I want to go? I want to go to Twitter, which is now X.
Yeah. That was a little jarring the other day.
Yeah, well, the icon really throws me off. I hate it. I mean, I hate change. It's not. He can do with his brand what he wants to do, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm not real
So
big
he
on that either.
kind of, John kind of did. We worked on this, and I told him what I wanted, and bam, he did it. So if you'll share screen, I'll give you a little. This will be the cover to um, the prequel, which was originally slated to be Devil Flyer number
Oh
one, but I'll
wow,
just have it. I'll have him do me another one.
that's amazing. That is really cool. Does he do the colors too?
Yes, yes, he did.
Wow.
Now, John Falandes, who did the Devil Flyer story, he designed the logo. Of course, he kind of colored it, and and it was on separate lines. He put it all on one line there. Now, this will have to change a little bit. It'll be Devil Flyer First Flight prequel.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
great looking cover.
and then if I take this down, I will show you some other things here, other options, other things. I can get your opinion on that.
Okay.
Let's see here. Uh, that wasn't all that he did with that. The cover you just saw will be in the upper left hand corner, and the others will be variants on that theme. There you go, my friend. So we have four different things that he did with it.
Oh, gotcha.
Uh,
Yeah.
the one we just looked at with the yeah. Now the difference between the bottom the two across diagonally across from each other, the one we just saw that's in the upper left hand corner and in the bottom right hand
Yeah.
corner, it's basically the tanning, the parchment look to it. It's a little lighter,
Oh,
and
okay.
the characters are not shaded as much. They're like
Gotcha.
full color costume. And then
Okay.
there's no characters in that black background version, and the burgundy version is just burgundy. So
Looks
I don't know
great.
what you kind of prefer. This was kind
Um,
of I call this a burst through cover, but he's kind of burning himself through. I thought, oh,
yeah.
I just burst it, but what if he was, since he's kind of fire, right?
Yeah.
What if he's singeing it?
Oh
It's
yeah.
actually kind of singed edges on the paper,
Oh yeah.
with the little embers floating away and stuff.
Now see, it's weird because like the one with the burgundy background is really popping to me.
Is it okay?
Even though I'm thinking that's a lot of red on top of red on top of red. You
Right.
got the logo, you got the character, you got the background, but for some reason it still pops to me.
Yeah.
I like the black one,
I like
and
the black one for a t-shirt.
yeah, the black one would be great for a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Um, as for the other two, I don't know. I kind of like the top one better.
Really is the difference is that the characters are in shade. Uh
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
that works because it looks like he whatever he's punching through
Yeah.
is casting a shadow on them.
And a little bit higher up maybe as
Yeah,
well, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten different opinions on that. Actually, I'm hoping to use pretty much all this, in
Oh yeah,
some form
you
or
might as
fashion.
well. I mean, the
Yeah.
work's done.
Yeah. I could use the one where they're not as so much in shade. I could use that as a trading card.
Absolutely.
I could use the black as a t-shirt, and the other is the main cover, and then the other as a secret tier cover or
Secret
something.
tier cover, or if you're gonna
Yeah.
do have one for Indiegogo, one for Fund My Comic. If you do Fund My Comic,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna launch it on Fund My Comic probably. Yeah. I say probably because I mean, I I haven't starting the campaign yet, but
yeah.
I will be here pretty soon. Uh yeah, he went works pretty quick, and then here's the sort of the finished before he even colored it. Whoops. There we go. Black and white and grayscale of that. That's always an option too, there, Mike. To
Oh yeah,
do a sort of, I don't know if you call that a sketch variant
just
cover.
have it be a sketch variant, or if you want to do a black and white line art version of the book, that would be a
Yeah,
good cover for it.
I believe there's 14 characters there that he squeezed in.
Jeez, who is he?
I
Who does
told
he
him,
think he is? George Perez? Come
yeah. I
on.
mean, and there's a motorcycle as well. So I mean, that takes up a
Good
little bit of
lord,
real
yeah,
estate.
that does.
Yeah.
Looks great
Uh,
though.
yeah, you have Sea Demon, Geo, Stretch, Modern Lady of the Night. You have the Nubian; those are two female characters. You have TM, which stands for Total Mystery. Uh, Cortex, Dead Ninja. Uh, need to get my own book out. Storm Rider with the motorcycle. Um, you have Interman, Silver Boa, the Bystander, which is kind of my watcher type character, and Bog. And then, of course, Devil Flyer there in the fourth one. But,
Nice.
bunch of characters.
All right, don't feel bad about having to grab your book. I was drawing pages the other day for volume 4, and I was like, I need to grab volume 3 because I don't know what the fuck these people look like anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's been too long.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm slowly. And all these characters, like on this wraparound cover here, pretty much they're all going to make it into the campaign somewhere,
Yeah,
Uh, even if I can't do them in one of the stories, which pretty much everything's in stories, but there will be a couple that might make it on a print or a trading card or bookmark or something.
gotcha.
Yeah, at least they make it on that wraparound cover.
Yeah,
At least they'll make it on the wraparound cover. And I actually, this one that I'm inking the original pages here. Is also going to should be inked uh, eventually by Peter Palmetti. He
nice.
he's going to ink a version of it, so you'll get to see both versions somehow. Mine may be used as a cover. His may be used as the cover. His probably will be, right. You get Peter Palmetti, you might, you know. But I can always do that. Would make a good little, sort of horizontal print.
Oh yeah,
Or poster for that matter.
definitely.
When you have a wraparound cover, that would be pretty cool to have a nice print or something of like uh, the characters matching up, coming together with my inks on it.
Heck yeah,
Something I can point to and say, yeah, I did that.
I did
Didn't
that.
draw it, but I inked it.
And then you show them your fingers, and you go, ah, see, look at all these
Oh, stop
characters.
that. You're not, obviously you don't have arthritis.
No,
Yeah, thankfully.
not yet.
But if you keep that up, you might.
Yeah.
I do. I can do that too, folks. Just not. I told you about the chosen, the guy with the withered hand. It was pretty
Yeah.
wild. Every episode just keeps getting better and better and better. You can go watch that over on Angel Studios. They're the ones that actually did that movie with the actor that was in The Passion of the Christ. Caviezel.
Oh yeah.
That on the child trafficking, and man, that's making bank in the movies for what
Oh,
they
I
made it
bet.
for. You know, because it's. I mean, even though it's a heavy subject, and the thing of it was, the main studios didn't want to touch it.
Oh yeah.
And now it's making bank. People are going to see it.
Yep.
The second week of showing made better than the first week.
Well, and that just shows that studios have no clue what people are hungry for.
They
What
don't
they want,
care.
what they want to
They don't
consume.
care.
Yep.
They used to care. They used to care about every freaking movie. Yes, always that it made money, but it had to resonate with the audience. I think they had a better sensibility of
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't been doing, I've been, like I said, work's been kicking my butt. So uh, I've had to kind of curtail the inking streams. Although I'm excited to get back to work doing something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was off for a while, and man, I never thought I'd say I was happy to be back at my day job, but it was nice to be doing something,
Yeah.
you know,
Now,
doing the artwork's productive, but doing something physical with your body is, you kind of need that.
now, Mike, I missed it when inking this freehand. I went in too far. It is a little wobbly there. There seems to be a little bump. If it's metal, it should probably be smooth.
Yeah.
You can see the pencil line here if you blow it up, and where I inked it.
All right, hold on. Let me make you big so I can
I
see.
missed it completely. It was a little thicker, the blade was.
Okay. I mean,
So, how would you fix that? Or would you leave the line and just make it a little thinner and erase the pencil? Or would you try and go over it? And
oh, that your ink line doesn't follow the pencil line.
do you
That's
see the pencil underneath it? And then I
yeah.
made it
I
a
would
little
just
too thin. It curved in on me.
I would just erase it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just thought I'd get your opinion on that.
Yeah. No
Just be
problem.
and there's something I'm going to have to fix digitally on here. I don't know that I can do it uh, artistically. Actually, he twisted the body of the artist twisted the body too much to where it's kind of like the Spider Woman. It's like, where are her organs, or where is
Oh
their back
yeah.
broken?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's torquing the character around too much, where he's got a broken back. It looks dramatic, but it's just not anatomically correct. So may have
Yeah.
to may have to fix that digitally. Have Dillard or someone fix that digitally for me.
As long as that's. I mean, my biggest inspiration, his rule of thumb is always as long as it looks cool. I mean,
Yeah, but come on, look here. Can I show you the character?
yeah.
To me, this just doesn't make sense. Where the back would be like where his hip is. Uh, the Sea Demon character there, where he's throwing his fist forward, and
Yeah.
I think he's torquing around too much for the way his hips and legs are.
It looks like he's got the right hand and the right leg going up at the same time, which I wouldn't do. You, normally, when you're the way you move is your right arm would go up and your left knee would go up. They're always opposite of each other. So to me, it looks like he's got. The reason it probably looks weird is that he's got both the right arm and right leg going forward
Mm,
when everything
no,
else is going
actually,
back.
it's his right leg and the left arm throwing forward. He does have it opposite.
Oh,
I don't know if it was showing up differently on your camera or.
oh, this. I'm looking at the guy behind him.
Yeah,
That's what I'm looking at.
yeah.
Um, I mean that's feasible. That,
Seriously?
yeah,
You don't
that's
really?
hyperextension.
That's broken back.
But that's you're the boss, so that's
Well,
your
I
call if
mean,
you want to
when
change
should
it.
your spine ever line up with your hip, the side of your hip?
Well, when should you ever run into a
You
sea
could
man?
you couldn't do that. Unless you're Plastic Man, you couldn't do that, or Mr. Fantastic or Elongated Man, you couldn't do that.
That's true.
And I
Yeah,
didn't catch it. I didn't catch it at first. You saw I inked part of it. I didn't catch it at first, but I said, that's anatomically incorrect. You can't do that. And yes, it looks dramatic, but it's not. I don't want that. It's
yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me. It's got to make sense to me, Mike.
gotcha.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I got the glow on the wings. Still have some feathers to do. There's more I have to do on the front cover than I do the back.
Well,
I
Mark
think
Penguin
the
says
back.
he's double jointed. He's very flexible. I bet the ladies love hearing that.
Well, maybe his back spinal column can wind up with the side of his hip.
Just depends on how bendy you are, you know.
Well, bendy's one thing. I mean, I've seen contortionists and stuff, but no way can your spine ever line up with the side of your hip. There's just no way, no matter how much you torque around. You know, not to be too critical, but it's just not. And like I said, I didn't even catch it at first.
Well, he's a sea creature, right? He's a sea character, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, don't like fish have like real malleable skeletons? I mean, maybe he's got a weak skeleton, and that's his weakness or whatever. Is he's not doesn't have a
Yeah. Oh well, let me show you something else then, since we're doing show and tell here, and I'm like uh, doing a little shilling, showing
go for it.
a little bit, take it from my Gmail so I can actually. I have, like I say, Ryan James working on a wraparound cover. Um, all the covers on number issue 6, which will be the climax of the story, uh, will be oops, I'm missing an appointment right now.
Uh oh.
Will be Yeah, I was actually supposed to get with Vic about the artwork today, which was yesterday. But I'm busy, Mike. I'm on here with you.
Don't.
Let's see if I can
You need to go, man. You need
buffering,
to go.
buffering. Yeah, not before I show you this.
Oh, that's nice. That's what he was working on yesterday, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to see this, didn't you? Yeah, yeah. This is
Yeah, I
the
think he
pencils,
was.
and he's starting to ink it.
Oh,
He's all chipped up, and
looks
I,
great.
I, what I gave him the image of him like all beat up, and I wanted spikes like a blowfish, but he's kind of made them
Hmm.
curled like seashells, because he's a sea creature, and that's one reason Ryan did Octagon, which is character. Uh, look at that face, man. Now he's kind of done some more
I
on
know
that
that's
since.
great.
Yeah, he really beat him up, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, broken communication thing there. I told him, and yeah. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how it comes out. Now the back cover. Um, let me go to the back cover here. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, I loved all the
Yeah,
posing on that. That was amazing. Okay, so
yeah,
quite the crew.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and you know what? It's not really. I mean, it's I don't. I don't want to say it's not what I asked for. I just was not like, and you could fix this digitally. You can put this further into the, I didn't up front and center like this. I wasn't, but you know what? I'm fine with it. It's great. And actually, he put a villain in there. This woman, this geisha looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
The she's actually from the 40s character, but now she will come to the future. Uh, and hell yeah, this actually him placing the villainous here
Yeah.
in on the back has given me a whole new direction or a whole direction for this character and also Sea Demon because she's going to have a love affair with Sea Demon.
All right.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
That.
though she's a villain, you know, and
Well,
she is a villain. She's a murderer. She's killer. It's kind of like the Wolverine. And then what was his girlfriend with the fingernails? Adamantium finger?
Lady Deathstrike.
Lady Deathstroke. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's called Shadow's Kiss, I think. No, no, Sweet Baby. Sweet Baby is her name.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Shadow's Kiss sounds really cool too.
Yeah, that's not makeup. I don't know how he played that up, but actually that's like a mask on
Mm-hmm.
her face, like a porcelain,
Oh, that'd be
mask,
cool.
or it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that makes it even creepier.
Now this projecting into the future, it may not be a mask anymore. She might be actually painting her actual face. So I don't know. We'll see. This is the great thing about doing stuff in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of it being a mask though, because it's almost like
Hmm. Madame Mystique, wasn't it, in Iron Man that had the golden
Matt
mask?
Madam Mask. She
Madame Mask. Okay.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you eventually found out who she was, but to have that kind of cold, lifeless face staring at you, I mean, it's like the Michael Myers mask, it just kind of creeps you out.
Mhm. Well, I guess I better try and get with him. I think he sent me before I end it. Let me just
Yeah,
make sure he's on the
yeah,
other end here.
don't miss out on appointments because of me.
Yeah, here's Vic. All right, Mike. I guess we'll see you later. Eventually,
Yeah,
hopefully, you'll let me in.
yeah, I'll
Hey, Vic.
try to do
Let me. I'm on a stream. Let me just say goodbye, and I'll be right with you. So just keep me up here. Mike, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being
Love your
on.
stuff.
I
Uh,
appreciate it always.
hope to have you on here, fairly soon again. Love it.
Yeah,
Would love it. Maybe a hangout stream. I don't know what times are good for you. Maybe you can DM me and let me know. Just
okay,
whatever. I
sounds great to
appreciate it,
me.
man. And
All
Vic
right.
says hi, by the way.
Hey Vic, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Well, we'll see you later, buddy.
All
Take
right,
care.
see ya. Bye. Just drawing some stuff. Turns out pretty cool. Uh, Nobody I invited showed up. Do 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 do. Well, poop. I don't know how much longer I'll be doing this, just because. I don't know. Do do do. No 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 no. Don't know when the wife is gonna come home, or when she's gonna call me to help her build something down at her photo studio. Let's see, what was I trying to do? Oh yeah, see if that works. Problem is, everybody I've invited to stream, they only stream late at night, but I am asleep late at night because 5 kids. That'll do it. There she is. Do the old trusty number 3. There we go. This is an homage cover. That I'm doing for U.S. Assassin in the future. Oh, it's basically I'm homaging this Bloodstrike cover. And we're gonna have a mystery character where Crypt is there, and then they're gonna be fighting down here, U.S. Assassin and the other guy. So hopefully I can pull off a halfway decent Stephen Platt, which I'm not holding my breath, but you never know. Never know. Come on, pen, don't fail me now. Got my uni pins. Nice and slick. Nice and slick. They just fly. And now I'm making myself tired, son of a biscuit. I mean, technically I'm on vacation. I guess if I wanted to take a nap, I could. Then I wouldn't be drawing. And that needs to get done. Because gotta have a book out by the end of the year. And not being like a lot of campaigns out there, we don't solicit till all the work's done on my end. So, yeah. No pressure. No pressure. Do, 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 do. Just looking at the character model for it, and I forgot to put a belt. Oh well. Probably wouldn't be able to see it from the angle he's at right now anyway. So hopefully we can let that one slide. Oops. My bad. It's Shelby. Check your Twitter DMs. Shelby, 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 Shelby. Pat on my face. My boys are here. Mark Pengrin's been here from the beginning. Or as Mark Polton likes to call him, Ice Pick. I'd prefer to call him man that owns roughly a third of everything I've ever drawn, along with Bat on my face and a bunch of random other folks. Do, 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 do. Shelby. Oh. See, this is what happens when I try to do multiple things. Trying to scan some pages in while I'm streaming, but for some reason my scanner doesn't want to. What's up, General Piggy? How you doing, buddy? Shazam. Shakabooey. Back from lunch. What'd you have for lunch? I had a very disappointing Red Baron cheese pizza that tasted like ass. Now, how do I know what ass tastes like? Don't ask. I'm sure there's a prison story in there somewhere. Come on, Shelby. Come on my stream, sir. But don't look at it from Mike McMahon 74. It has to be Mike McMahon 715 because 74 got permanently banned because I told Mike Wheeler I'd kick his ass if I ever saw him in real life. So I got the ban. Permanently suspended account. Italian pork with sharp provolone, seasoned spinach on a sesame seed roll. Ooh. Not a big spinach fan, but that sounds delicious. Yay, Shelby followed me back. Yay, Shelby's in here. Shazam! Shakabooey! And there he is. What is happening, sir?
Why are you threatening people, Mike?
Well, you know, he kind of had it coming. I was having a bad day, so I kind of took out my anger on him anyway. But that was weeks ago. So I doing a homage cover of this issue of Blood Strikes cover, which I'm sure you are.
Classic Platt.
Classic Platt.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. Actually, probably my favorite era of Stevens' work.
Oh yeah, it's badass. I love it. And Mark came up with a new character that I'm drawing on this, and I was like, oh, that I just so happened to be digging through my stuff, and I actually found my issue of Crypt #1, and I found some of my Stephen Platt covers, and I was like, oh man, this would be awesome for like a teaser piece for this new character intro.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 Stephen Platt covers from 95, 96 that are homage worthy. They're pretty good.
Now,
What's up? What's
did
up,
he?
Penguin? Penguin's here. Piggy.
Yeah.
Bat on my face. What's up, guys?
Oh yeah. Now,
Yeah, you've been streaming for a bit, man. You only had 2 likes. I hit that. I was like, the hell,
thanks, man. Appreciate it. Now, when he inking, he inked this cover himself. Like some of these,
He inked almost all of it himself. Yeah, that's all Pigma. He would crush Pigma markers.
I was gonna say,
and
it
then,
looks like it's a dying pen, but it comes out with such a great effect.
Not telling you to do this, but if you take a Pigma marker and you actually put enough force into smashing the tip, like not smash it down like a splitting it, but smash it where it kind of drags like that, like it breaks it.
Gotcha.
Sometimes, if you didn't actually break the pin, you can actually get a brush stroke sort of thing going on. And he used to actually, I watched him do it. That's what he used to do.
Gotcha.
And that's how you get a little bit of that trail. And also, yes, you're right. He would use pins that were like almost dead, and he would go through and just kind of shade with them the way you would draw, not really ink.
Nice.
Kind of like how Silvestri inks, because Silvestri, when he inks himself now, he actually doesn't really clean up the pencils either. He sort of he inks it. He does a little bit of erasing, but then he lets other stuff sit, and it still adds some volume to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to smash any of my uni pins because those are actually.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying it is a way that you can
What's going on
lines.
here?
Oh, just I figure I'd make sure everyone knew I was still alive.
That's fair, I suppose. It sounds like a fair thing. How are you guys doing? I haven't seen you all in a hot minute.
Yeah. Oh dang it!
Right.
My scanner keeps failing.
I'll flip my camera in a minute. I'm looking for. I got some of these blank sketch covers for that Ed Pisker Red Room book.
Oh, nice! I love watching their show.
And the the actual book. I don't know if you've actually looked at it, Mike. It's a pretty blatant ripoff of a Japanese series, which is like the same thing, even drawn in that rough style.
Whoops.
Yeah, and I thought it was ironic because, like, I'm pretty sure that dude went to Japan and like picked up a bunch of underground shit and all that.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I see. The Americans aren't gonna find out, but we all got the internet, man. You know,
That's right.
You can't be
well, that would be like
Swipey McSwiperton, dude. And it's not just straight swipe. It's like concept and design and
wow.
Just because you change the shit a bit, it's still directly.
Well, didn't Gene Simmons' kid do that with a manga, and he got published through Image? He like basically just swiped like
he got soft. Yeah, he got soft.
He swiped. You're talking about the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure ripoff.
Yeah.
My son loves that show, and he's always trying to get me to watch it, and I'm like, nope.
I have a parody of it. I have a manga that actively parodies it, but it's good times.
Anytime I see a kid of a celebrity or a kid of an athlete who's doing something pop culture related, it's usually a derivative of something better, or just the straight swipe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's straight.
It's like, I'm talentless. I'm not like dad, so I'm gonna do this other thing instead. No, I don't know anything about this fandom, but let me steal this comic right here.
Exactly.
Yeah. They won't notice.
Yeah, nobody's gonna know. It's just the comic.
Yeah,
book
industry. They haven't been reading the shit for 45 years, 50 years, 60 years.
Got this great idea for a character. He's a blind lawyer in Hell's Kitchen. Nobody will know.
Nah. Just
nobody
bat ears. No one knows.
But it's a woman. There we go. That's what makes it different and special.
And her name's Matilda.
There we go. Matilda Merdosi. I don't know.
Yeah, this stuff's.
Just
if it was original, I would give it. I'd be giving it a lot of props if it was original. I happen to have been looking into a series in Japan before he came out with this. So immediately when I saw the design work, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. This is very similar to this other run of books, which has been coming out for like 8 years.
Hey, wait a minute.
And then I was like, he showed some pages on one of his live streams, and I actually did buy the book from him on his stream. I went to Fantagraphics and I bought 2 or 3 issues. I mailed one of them to Andy because I was like, Andy, check this out. Let me know what you think, man. It's kind of an underground, a weird thing, because I actually hate his Marvel work. I think him and they do an okay job on YouTube, but
their
artwork does not do anything for me, either one of them. So with that being said, and it's a personal, I like my normies, you know, I like my Silvestri, the Image founder guys.
Oh yeah.
And then I also like, there's runs of John Romita Jr. that I actually respect a lot. And then you got runs of some of the earlier, not everything, man. A lot of people, they deify a lot of Neil Adams and stuff. I'm like, man, John Byrne. I'm like, there's 2 or 3 runs which were cool, and then a whole lot of stuff that was not good.
I don't like it when Byrne inks himself. I really don't. I mean,
John Byrne's his best work was the ones that McFarlane was pulling from. It was the artistically, it's the Incredible Hulk run. Those issues, like, what was it, 318 or
something like that?
It was ones where he's fighting the Avengers. That run of books, badass, top tier John Byrne work, man, so good. And then there's a short section of Fantastic Four books that I really, really like too. But a lot of the stuff, if it feels dated, remember too, we're Gen Xers, right? So we started reading comics
when they were cool.
Late 80s, early 90s. We weren't reading Jack Kirby. We weren't reading John Romita Sr. The people in our face was Walt Simonson, Silvestri, McFarlane. So that's our inspiration. We weren't backpedaling going, oh, let's see all this other cool old stuff. You do that when you're in your 20s and 30s and got a little bit of disposable income. You don't do that as a kid.
No.
So, yeah.
Although I wish because that would have made
our generation's Stan Lee is literally Todd McFarlane, and he's accomplished more, man. I had this argument with someone. I said, Todd McFarlane is the biggest thing to ever happen in comics.
Yep.
Not only did he inspire people with his artwork, he didn't even have to give you good stories, and he sold you books. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. He made toys.
I read this at least once a week. I flip through The Art of Todd McFarlane, just for sheer inspiration of just his journey and seeing some of the stuff that he's accomplished and seeing moments in my life where I took the other direction from a choice that he would have made, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I had his basically his balls, because he just, I don't know if he was always like that, but he comes off as somebody that just always knew who he was, and didn't second guess a lot, and just kind of went.
So he Todd McFarlane lacks, or he doesn't lack it. I wouldn't call him fearless. I think he's driven, and I think he also doesn't have most artists approach showing artwork as a form of acceptance, and I don't think he cares if you accept him. That's the difference. Like, he doesn't have I don't know the right way to say it, but he doesn't have the same level of insecurity that every artist has. Yeah, he just doesn't.
Yeah.
He knows he's not the best artist, but he went
Yeah.
out.
Built an
He struck when
empire.
the iron was hot, man. He came in hot. He you know what? There's a few channels too, man. There's a few that they do like book reviews and stuff, and these guys all day long, man, all they do is shit on Image. And I'm like, every other video you're doing is just you hating on these these Image books, these '90s books. Those creators literally opened the door for everything independent today, like it or not.
Absolutely.
There would be no independent comics that are successful today without Image Comics launch, and y'all need to fucking respect that.
Absolutely.
These dudes absolutely did not leave because Marvel wasn't respecting them. They left because it was a financial decision, and they saw they could make more money elsewhere. I lived it. I worked there. I'm going 30 years next year pro. I was around there in my teens. I got to see it. I got to hear the conversations no one talks about online. So I know what it was all about. Most people on the end know what it was all about. And it absolutely, I would not have been gotten hired at 16 by any major company, even at 20, 25. McFarlane to get hired till he was what, in his 33, 32? I don't think he got his first pro
He
work.
had a professional baseball career, didn't he? Like right before.
He was in college, and he blew
was
out
like
his knee.
I think he was a Double-A player, and then he actually became a groundskeeper for the Blue Jays. I thought.
Yeah, because
He was a groundkeeper for some team. Yeah,
I know that sport, like in particular, baseball has always been like a big thing for him, and it's been a while since I've watched like the Todd McFarlane documentary that came out in like the '90s. But
and funny enough, my buddies and I, who were we were literally like the biggest comic geeks in our high school. We were all baseball players too, man. And it's funny how the coin flipped, because at some point it was never cool to collect comics. In the 80s, it was never cool.
Nope.
You would go to the comic shop and I would see, someone else who I didn't play football. I only played baseball. And I would see football players come in. There's some clicks. They'd come into the comic shop and you would literally act like you don't see them, because it was almost like a don't talk about it. And then once in a while in the hall, they'd be like, "Hey, do you know if they got that New Warriors 1 still? Is that okay?" And they're not even your friend; they're just like asking you in passing, like something about a book, and then like trying to play cool about it, like, "Oh, okay." It's like, yeah, nobody talks about comics. Comics are for little kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of fights in school over my chosen vocation, and now like
it was interesting.
I think God, it was like 2000.
There was, dude. There was. What's up? Oh, thank you. I'm on stream.
Hi, Mrs. Shelby.
She's bringing me some eBay stuff. Yeah, there was. I didn't get picked on, but there was definitely people who had stuff to say about things, and it's funny because those are the same parents now that hit me up for commissions and ask me, "Hey, my kid's really into this," and I'm thinking, "Fool, didn't you talk mad crazy shit to me in like ninth grade about?" I know we were kids, but still, man.
I was gonna say, in 2012, I was at a Tesla concert that was outdoors, and I ran into the guy that bullied me through grade school, junior high, and high school. Because he basically he peaked. He was like 5'11" in grade school, so he was like, the biggest kid, tallest kid, and now he's fatter than I am, which is awesome. But he came up to me. He's like, "Oh man, I see your stuff all the time on Facebook, and my kids think you're such a great artist," and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, wait a minute. You used to beat the shit out of me because I like comic books, and now you're saying you and your kids are my biggest fans. It was hard not to just kind of come off with a "fuck you," but it was kind of like,
yeah.
I mean,
all right.
It's a whole thing now. I'm like a generation like right behind you guys, but like even when I was growing up, being into comics was not the cool thing to do, and you still had like attitude of these. This is juvenile entertainment, you know.
Yep.
But like now, it's become so prominent in the zeitgeist due to the success, previous success of things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, everything like that. Well, now being into comics is a cool thing. Most people aren't actually into it; they just watch the films. But if you do read comics, it's no longer the whole thing of, oh, you're the kid that's going to get picked on because you like the nerdy thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there was definitely a point in growing up where it was kind of expected that you weren't supposed to read those anymore. That was
That's
for
right.
when you were like 10.
Yeah. Little did they know I had my parents. Little did they know I had an addictive personality. It's like once you put something in my face and I like it, I'm not going to let it go. Hey, Shelby. Want to ink a double-page Armageddon spirit? I'm going to hate my life.
That's not too bad. You got good control of black. You got.
Yeah, I still got
That's
to put
not.
in.
That's not the craziest thing, man. I got a couple pieces of that dude, that Alan Goldman. I inked a few covers for some other creators.
That guy's
Not for my. I've not
Yeah.
hired him for anything. Very Jim Lee on a micro scale. He does a lot of his line art. But oh, Mike, what you don't know, I got a few originals. I actually got to mail them to Rob Arnold. He had, for some reason, I think it was cheaper for him to get him to ship them to me, and then ship them back out to Australia. But he draws on like 12 by 20. It's huge paper, dude.
Jesus.
Yeah, I got to get a special box to mail it. It's huge.
How do you
Like,
scan
huge,
that?
huge. He already had the scan done, so I don't know how he's. He might be tiling it together. I'm not sure. But my inks on his stuff was all. I did blue line. So the way I would ink his work is I would actually. I'd flip it to a well. I'd flip it lengthwise, so the piece is sideways, and then I would literally cut it in two halves, and I would do a blue line printout on a double page spread. Is how I would ink it, because there was too much information that wouldn't. He's very scribbly, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be inked that was showing up on 11 by 17 blue lines, and I was like, this is not legible for me, for any inker. I'd have to redraw it.
Yikes.
So he does zero cleanup on his work too, because you're going to see the underdrawing and all that other crap. So so I had to print it big so I could visually see. So every piece I did ink to his is double, except for one. There was one that's not. I don't know if I got it here or not. Oh, this one. This is the only piece of his that I only inked it as a single.
Jesus.
It's for one of Kemosabe's books. But
That's just
this one here.
Yeah,
I was
that's
able to get
Company Men
by.
2, right?
I think so. But yeah,
He's
that's
good.
the only piece that I didn't have to blow it up to a double pager, because I was like, I can get by with I'll just ink it with the threading needles. I don't know. His line art's so. I think he suffers from the same thing that I've said. I haven't complained about it, but I've said younger artists, and actually a lot of artists from our generation, Mike,
yeah.
suffer from, where when you and I are learning how to draw comic books, we're looking at the printed material,
Yeah.
which is reduced at 65%, right?
Yeah.
So we're drawing on paper to scale of what we think the artwork is. We're not looking at it going, oh, I need to draw that this big, not this big. So we're drawing this big. So when we're actually working on comics, we're drawing stuff in our mind's eye. We're thinking small scale, like printed books, because that's what we spent decades looking at.
Yep. And it
So
Fucks
then
with
when
me
we
all
go
the
back to
time.
print with it, and I think that's what Travis Charest suffered from, honestly, because if you ever hear him talk about it, he learned how to draw comics looking at Jim Lee comics,
Yeah,
right?
I wish these existed when we were kids. Yeah,
Oh,
I wish they existed
I
because
don't have either one of the Vault edition book, the Spawns. I don't have either one of
I
those.
I jumped at number 2 because I missed out on number 1, and number 1 was the one that I wanted because it had the over.
Yeah, dude, they're like $1,000 now. They're so
Yeah,
expensive. You can't.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope Todd kind of doesn't. I don't know. He can do a second printing on them, man. Like I don't know why he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, those just seeing those were awesome, and I think we're getting like I got a Brett Booth one from the Wildstorm group on Facebook,
They got
and
a Scott Clark one coming out.
yeah, the shipping should be coming. The shipping information should be coming today sometime. They
What's the
said
quality on that Booth one? Because I missed out on that.
It's really
Is he
good.
doing it? Is he doing a second printing of it? I know
That
someone
is the second printing. The one I have is the second printing.
And he doesn't print over, huh? He just prints
No.
what sorter.
Damn. But the only thing.
How do you compare that to say the Artifact edition Jim Lee, which is my favorite Jim Lee artist edition, dude? That book, I know it's not Marvel characters, but so good.
They're cleaned up scans, so you don't see any of the yellowing on any of the artwork. It's all clean. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I can complain about for the Brett Booth one is that a lot of the commission pieces are inked by Tom Mason, and he's a good colorist, but I don't think he's that great of an inker, and so much of it is inked by him, and you can see where he kind of loses the energy that Booth has in his inks.
He never moved on from 1992 Jim Lee, in my opinion. This stuff is very so he colored that Mutant Genesis book I got. This one. You know, I used to work with him back in the day, that Tom Mason guy. He colored a few of my indie books like years ago. But the Genesis, the 2.0.
Oh, I never got that.
So it's the first 6 or 7 issues of
Jim's run.
Wildcats, but it's recolored. No, dude, it looks like liquid because he has a liquidy style. It looks like liquid colored, man. It's really
nice. I'll have to pick that up.
I don't even look at the original printings now. I'm gonna be honest. I only look at this one. The colors in it, dude. He really went off the nuance and it looks like fashion forward, man. It's so good. And but this is my favorite collective run of the Jim Lee X-Men books. And they only printed it in the Mutant Genesis 2.0. They didn't print it in the like that XXL book. I got that one. That's huge. It's
that is a lot of digitized looking art because it's so big. It just doesn't.
They upscaled a lot of stuff in there, man.
Yeah. If I can figure out a way to get it there, because I got mine at Books A Million for $40. It was just sitting. It was leaning up against one of the bookshelves. I was like, "Holy crap, that thing's huge!" And I looked at it and I turned it around, and it must have been used because it's normally like $100, I think, and they said 40. So I was like, "Fuck, I'm just buying it."
Oh yeah, it's a no-brainer.
It's actually one of the videos on my my YouTube channel is me outside of Books A Million opening up.
Oh yeah. Mike, do you remember if it has the Extinction Agenda stuff in it?
The XXL?
Yeah.
It has I want to say it does. It's just
it has all the Savage Land Rogue and Magneto stuff, and then it has it has all the Uncanny stuff that's really cool, but I don't recall whether or not it has Extinction Agenda would just be 2 or 3 books, right?
Yeah, let me go get it. Hold on.
I'm sitting here. I'm pulling fake characters out of my ass.
What you working on?
I have 2 sketch cover. I'm doing some underdrawing. I got some of these blanks here for this Crypto Killer. I just pulled these out to work on my screen. But I got 2 of these, and I'm like, these characters in this book are not iconic. They're not anything that anyone will recognize. So I'm just coming up with some characters that just on the fly. They don't exist in the book, but most of the characters in this book don't really seem like they last. The whole idea is it's like this book Red Room. Think of it like snuff TV.
Ah,
It's kind of like
gotcha. So like
it's kind of like
everyone's just
think
getting
like
freaking.
it's like Hostel meets that video game Slaughterhouse. It's
Oh
literally like
shit!
that.
Everyone's just getting freaking
Yeah.
destroyed.
Yeah. But like I said, the concept of this and everything about it, even the cadence of this comic is literally from that Japanese series that I've been hinting at. So, and it's not here. That's the thing too. That manga is not in the States. So that's why I'm kind of
Okay.
laughing to myself about it.
I'm
'Cause
sure
when it
that
does,
they're
people
doing
are going to be
exactly
like,
what you're thinking that they're doing. Like,
yeah.
It's not uncommon, as Mike was even saying, there was like a whole Image series that was a straight up rip off of the 3rd arc of JoJo.
Right.
Let's see. It's got the Madripoor stuff in it.
And it's one thing to do parody, but it's another thing to just straight up like rip like it, not give them credit.
Right.
This page right here, this would be so badass to own.
Oh, dude, you don't even know. Yeah. Hey, I think, was that all Scott, or was that some of it Will Sinks too?
Hey guys, I actually got to pop off. I just wanted to come by and say hi real quick. But it's good seeing you guys.
Oh, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, man.
Mike, always a pleasure. Shelby, always a pleasure. We'll catch you guys here in a bit.
Cool,
all
man.
right. Okay, so X-Men 256, 258 were Scott Williams and Joseph Rubinstein. Uncanny X-Men 268 and 269 was Scott and Art Tiver. 274 to 277 is just Scott.
I'm gonna look this up.
This
Hold on a
has
second here. Let's see. X-Men Extinction.
I think that was before 275.
I just want to see which issues here, because so
It's
the
got
thing
the
is
stuff where they're in
Marvel,
space.
so it'd be 2.
Yeah, I don't think this has Extinction Agenda in it.
It'd be 270 to 272. It's only 3 books.
I'm not seeing it. Yeah, because it jumps from the end of the
Marvel is pissing me off, man. They're doing this. Okay, so here's what they're doing. They're creating a market. It's only 3 issues, and actually, the Liefeld issues in that storyline are freaking terrible. They're terrible. They're like rushed, inked by Hilary Barta or whoever.
Yep, they're awful.
Gross, dude. Gross pages. Nothing about them was good. And then the other, who did it go across? The X Factor issues were trash awful. To me, dude.
John Bogdanovich. Yeah, no. I don't like him.
Zero interest in those books too, man. But anyways, where I'm going with this is Marvel knows that they can get prime payment on that series, even though there's only the 3 Jim Lee issues in it.
Yeah.
Look up the Extinction Agenda, the trade paperbacks and stuff. Dude, $60, $100. Nothing is cheap in there.
I've got the old one. It's got the white cover with the
with like a blue foil logo. I got the same one.
Yeah,
I got the same one. Yeah, and you can get, that's the only affordable one. But the problem with that one is dude, I hate being the paper is not.
Yeah.
If you compare it to a current book, it's late 80s and early 90s Marvel on their trades. What they would do to get the cost down on the trades, they would actually print on worse paper than a lot of their deluxe editions. And that's how they were able to get you a trade for $9. And it's like, the problem is over, a decade or two, that paper is like, it's yellow as the Grinch's teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it looks terrible. What's up,
Oh, yeah.
Ace?
Hey, what's up, Edwin? Let's see. Hail peeps.
Bat on My Face has an original idea. Series about a vampire hunter named F. He has a talking foot. You should do it. He should fight someone who's also a vampire hunter that has a talking hand, but it only eats tacos. Like, it doesn't talk. He just feeds himself tacos through his hand.
That's not a talking foot. That's gout.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, I'm almost done laying this out, then I'll actually illustrate it. I'm just making shit up here, Mike. This piece. I don't know what to do on these covers, man. I sent one to Andy. I found a few of them. I sent one to Andy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, all." He's like, "Yeah, man, I can." I was like, "Just draw Spawn, dude. Just draw Spawn on it." It's
Just
like, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's draw Spawn. Oh, did you see that piece I finished, Mike? What did you think of it?
The one with the big
This
hand.
one. No.
Oh, that's
no,
badass. I wish I could do stuff like that.
So, bro, I got all these really cool paints over here. I got like the koi watercolors, and I got some gouache sets, and I got all these other things. And I was like, oh, okay, I got all these. Me, like any other artist, I opt to use my $3 bought in 1992 completely janky set. So I did all the underpainting on this with that, and then all the line art stuff you see, I actually used color pencil instead of ink. I was like, oh, I'll just use colors. So I used like dark blue and all that, and of course some whiteout, the Posca stuff.
See, what I need to do is I need to make sure that next time there's an art auction that I'm on before you're on, so I have money to buy your stuff.
Oh,
because I still have.
I'm happy with it, man. When I was working on that though, I'm not gonna lie, my ass almost threw it away because when I started on the face, I did not like what I was seeing. I was like, I hate this piece, dude.
I still got that in a frame.
That's the first 94 trading cards original art. That's the whole set. I think the card in the bottom left was the exclusive one.
And I've got that. I had to give up one of my frames to my wife. I got that one in a frame. And I just love
nice.
That face. That face is.
Thanks, man.
I was lucky to have some free cash when you were doing your stream to sell stuff. I was like, yes.
Penguin's saying I have too many supplies and cheating. So Mark? I've gone through several addictions in my day, bro, and I'm sure Mike has also gone through the same sort of thing. So there was a period from, I would say, when did I start getting my own money? Around 93. From like 1993 until maybe 01. I think my kids were like 2 and 3, around 01. And what I would do was I found a really cool art store in Turlock, California. I think it's called Artel, Artel. I think she moved up to Modesto though. It was a lady who literally ran an art store out of her house. And so the front half of her house was actually sectioned off to be an art store.
Nice.
She was the only place that sold comic supplies for, like, I'm talking Black Magic ink, Hunt 102s, fine liners, felt tip pins, all that shit. You couldn't find them in that state. You had to go there to her house, unless you lived in LA or San Francisco. You still get gouged. She was giving them a pricing that was, decent. But that's where I got all my Black Magic, my Pro White, Pro Black inks, all my my nibs when I started, my Rapidograph pins, all that stuff was from her. And so there was a period where when she moved she moved up to Central Modesto, right next to the old comic shop that George Lucas's cousin runs. I did my first signing actually was at their shop. They asked me because they found out I broke in, and then I came through one time driving, and I was like, I'm gonna go up there and see him. It was 30 minutes out of the way, so I drove up there and I walked in. They were like, Shelby, signing. What day can you do it? And I was like, what? They're all, we purposefully bought a case of your crypt book.
Nice.
We want you here so we can sell them. And I was like, yeah, man, for sure. And they were like, we'll comp you with, I think he said $20 gas and pizza or something. I was like, sounds good, man.
Sounds good.
I sold some originals. Yeah, I sold some original art. Yeah, that
Do you
was
still
fun.
have
Those good
anything
times.
from your extreme days? Do you still
No,
keep it? Have you kept anything?
no. I have these. I have a bunch of these actually. I got the master printouts. We used to have a tack board. These are master printouts of actual pages.
Oh my
So
god.
I got one of my Badrock pages, the master printout, and then I got the master printout. Like these are on, I don't know what they're on, man. These would take like 8 or 9 hours for one to print.
Holy
And
shit.
every page it came out, so like when Evangeline was coming out, there'd be times that they would just send a book off before the master prints were finished. And
Oh
what
my
they
God.
would do is Eric Stevenson or someone come through with red pen and circle, be like, fix this. This is wrong. Hey, this color, it should be yellow. And literally these were master. So I ganked these, dude. Yeah, I got these. I got some of Liefeld stuff too. I got his cover to Badrock Grifter 2 or
Nice.
1. It's the one that the back cover. It's the one where the back side of it was Savage Dragon. I think it was supposed to be Badrock number 2, but it was just like an 8-page backup.
Yeah.
On the flip book. So I got that cover. I got 1 or 2 of Platt's Prophet, maybe issue 2 and 3. I got a couple of his covers of those.
Nice.
Just production shit. I got stationery, things like that. But my original artwork, eBay, I'm thinking here, like eBay around 97, 98. Dude, I sold most of it because I was like, I used to just give my art away because I was like, oh, I already got paid for it. So I would get like my buddy Tom, who's in chat sometimes. He's got 3 of my original. He has 2 original Badrock pages. He has a splash and a page, and I did a pinup piece that Rob never used. It was supposed to be for they're going to do another Battlezone series.
Yeah.
Which didn't come out, but I did a Badrock and Sci-Fire. It's those 2. So Badrock's down like this, and he's all teched out, like has tech everywhere. And then she's behind him like this. I think she's got like a standard Jim Lee, like the crosshair.
Yeah.
And then I gave her tech arms up to here too. It was very Apple CD. I don't know how to describe it, but
Yeah.
I inked that myself actually. And for the time being, I inked it with rapidographs, and it turned out okay. For a kid who didn't know what he was doing, like it turned out, it took me a long time to make sure the face, and I kind of cheated a bit, like with her, because I gave her, how you give it that heavy shadow on one side of the nose and you don't draw the other. I was worried that I was going to mess up the face, so I was like, I'm going to keep it simple, eyes, lips, and I gave her that little triangle nose, like with the shadow. That way, I was like, the colorist can sculpt it out. I'm a little afraid to if I give it definition, she's gonna come out looking like fucking Gonzo. I was like, I can't.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, what else? Now I'm gonna have to make a list. So you did Badrock, one of the Badrock issues.
I did finishes on Badrock number 1, the only issue that came out.
Okay.
I did not do any pages for the Badrock number 2, which is on the back side of Badrock Grifter 1, I think. It's on the back side of some. Here, let me look. I'll look it up. Badrock number 2. Rob did people dirty on that one, bro.
Oh, Rob doing people dirty? No way.
Well, no. My comic shop actually called me at my house and said, "What is this shit?" Like I had control. No, I'm not kidding you. He actually called me at home and said, "What's the shit?" And it was because of here. I'm gonna find it real quick. And I'll show you why. Okay, so here's Backdrop 2. Okay, I found it. It's in. Oh, that's what it was. Grifter Backdrop number 2.
Yeah.
They made it a 16-page book. You flip it over and get 8 pages for Backdrop number 2. And Backdrop number 2 is I'm gonna fuck it. Mike, look, it's that cover right there. That's
Okay,
Backdrop
yeah.
number 2. So
Okay.
it was the that was a flip book. The actual book is Grifter Backdrop number 2 by Chap Yates, right? I think Chap was the artist.
Yeah.
So what Rob did, get this, dude. This literally happened, and this is why my shop called me and was pissed. And I was like, I don't know, dude. I was freelancing at the time when that book was in print. He got orders. He got orders from Diamond for Grifter Badrock number 2 and orders for Badrock number 2 and
shit.
combined them both. So if you order 10 of one and 10 of the other, you got 20 copies of Badrock Grifter number 2.
Oh shit.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Schemes and scams, bro. I was oh shit. And I say Rob, it wasn't Rob who did it. That right there was 100% Eric Stevenson / Matt Hawkins, bro. That wasn't, and it might have been an idea for Rob to do it, but
yeah, that's dirty.
Rob's an artist and hires people that do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his MO. So I don't think. Yeah, it was just. That's one of those things where it's like, will it bite you in the ass as hard as you think? Probably not. Probably not, dude. Because
not as
people
bad as
are.
Deathmate Red.
You know what, man? I like the Deathmate books.
I like the Deathmate books too, but
to me,
the weight between them was what killed a lot of people.
Well, some of that, I mean,
speculators.
I've heard stories about some of that stuff, and they just bit off more than they can chew, man. And they were dealing with a company. It was like Bob Layton and them.
Yeah,
those guys were all about punctuality, and the Image guys were just so lax about everything. That's what hurt it. They should have really paid attention to who they were working with. I mean, it wasn't a secret that Image books were late nonstop, and some of that. So, a lot of people blame the artist. It wasn't all the artist, man. You guys got to remember, too, this is for you, chat. Digital coloring was new, and
sure.
I would watch colorists. I'm not kidding you. I would watch colorists like Drew Posada take 3 days for a double-page splash, just coloring.
Wow.
So a lot of that wait time was because they only had 12 colorists, 13 colorists with 40 pages of work. And some of these pages would take them 2 days, 3 days because they were doing there was no Cintiq. This was mouse colored, cuts and grads. Sometimes your computer would crash. They were all coloring on Macs. There was a lot of issues, dude. A lot of issues with coloring. And so it was new, man. It was like these image creators were basically carrying their vehicles. There was no tires yet. You know what I'm saying? With the coloring side of things. So they could only go so fast, and the problem is it's like, do you know the future? Not really. You're hoping that things are fixed in 2 or 3 months. So now you're 3 months out, you're taking on advertisements for books for 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year, and you're only hitting issue 4 when you should have had issue 10 out. And that's what started happening with Image. And, people forget, man, it happened with Marvel too. Marvel's like, oh, we're digitally coloring now too. Some of the ugliest comics in history. Marvel's first digital colored books. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff was gross, man.
I don't think about that. I don't think a lot of people think about,
It
what
wasn't just
image
it wasn't just the
did.
artist, dude. And no,
Yeah.
no, no, it wasn't just the artist, and it wasn't just and a lot of it too. I think also, man, they were kind of. I think it got to a point where they were kind of fighting for the same dollar in a weird way.
Yeah. Well, wasn't
Right, I can flip this.
well, that's where a lot of those rumors of them stealing each other's ideas was coming from, wasn't it? Because they were trying to one up each other by doing the same thing.
Uh, that that was already. I mean, I will say that was already going on when I started there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't know where it originated, honestly. Everyone points the finger, man. It's like everywhere else, even in the small indie circles. Everyone's like, it's this guy's fault.
Oh, of course.
Nobody, no one's at fault, dude. Ask them all. It's like prisoners. They're all innocent, right?
That's true. Very true.
Bat My Face says, "I'm gonna do a Rage Tally figure." I
That
hope
would be
so.
awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, he did. Here, I'll show it to you. He did a U.S. assassin figure.
Oh,
He did one.
nice.
Yeah, he did one for me and for Mark. And he's made
That's
like all
sweet.
the characters. If you go to
Well, if you do Bat on My Face, just look at the design where he has he's got the scarf sort of thing around the neck.
yeah, he's done pretty much all of our characters. I think he's done two versions of Slither, which is a big character. So I don't know where he found the body for it, but he does great work.
Penguin is saying, always wanted to know what the point of imaging those two-sided flip books. I think some of it's content, like maybe they didn't. Oh, Mike, by the way, I'm using this. I don't know if you've used these. This one is Scarlet Red. It's a
I've never used a red
Prismacolor.
one.
It's a coal erase. Yeah, it's an erase. Well, it's not non-photo, but um, I got this because I saw Eric Canetti drawing with it, and I was like, "Oh, that's sick, dude! I kind of like the way the red looks instead
Yeah,
of blue." So I only use this on sketch covers once in a while, and also that Rage Tality painting thing I did. I use this for my layout on it too.
nice. Holy shit! Look at all those blue pencils.
Oh, those are my sharpen one. Yeah, dude. And then I got it's all inks and stuff. Yeah. My army
Yeah.
of yeah, got a ton of that crap.
Well, I got I bought a roll top desk, so like all my pens are in all these little drawers that are above it.
That's cool, man.
There's some on this side, and then I've got my little stash there, and then I've got my bundles, and then I've got a drawer. It's like my wife's always like, "How many pens do you need?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
All of them. All of them. Just say all of them.
And it's weird because like sometimes, like some days, I'll have a hard time getting like unipins to work well for me. Like they'll be too
And
slick.
this thing does exist too, where you can be using a specific paper, and you might just have gotten something from a bad mill,
Yeah,
and the paper can actually it throws you off as an artist because you're like, dude, my game is off, man. These lines look like ass,
yeah.
and but really it might just be the actual paper. That has happened to me twice, but 2 times is 2 times too many in my opinion.
This is true. Like I think for volume 3, I used almost exclusively. I used the Micron PN
Uh-huh.
and just one of these brushes for the black areas, and it worked. And then I try to do.
Mike, did you ever use these guys, the Unipin brush pens? You can get them by the dozen. They're pretty easy to get. This is
Yeah,
actually the only easy brush pen to get, I think, or the only easy Unipin to get.
let me see. I think it's
But you can get a dozen of these for like $20. But these ones are dude. These pins are fantastic, man. And they last a while.
I've got one in here. I don't think I've actually ever used it.
Yeah.
Curse you, drawer. Where did you swallow it? 0.8, 0.4. I know I just saw one. Those are all my regular tips. Actually, the ones this brush pen that I really like, I can't find them anymore. It's a Higgins Black Magic. It's got like the little marble in it, and see that or not? It's really cool. I like it when
I
had
didn't.
ink.
I wasn't even aware that existed, dude.
Aha! Brush pen. Found it. Oh yeah, that is like a kind of like a pen a little bit.
And if you're really good with, I usually pull pen strokes towards myself, and that's the way that I get my nice thick to thins and like the TPs and stuff. If I can get a good rhythm, I can get some really cool line weights out of it, almost like Joe Weems, Richard Friend status. Like their level of control is insane.
Yeah, those guys are.
I'm not a tech. I'm technical, but I'm not. I don't know if you're the same way. It's like I'm gonna live with whatever I lay down. It's
pretty much.
I don't have time to noodle.
I don't have a choice because I don't have money for an inker, so that's where it lies and falls for me. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, Mark, I don't know the flipbook thing. I honestly, was there a bunch of those? I don't know that there was a bunch of them. Like they were doing that at Maximum Press a little bit,
and they did it at Awesome too.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I'm not gonna act like I know. I don't know. That side of business, I didn't really. I wasn't aware unless I was hearing about it during like going to lunch, with these dudes.
Yeah.
Really,
I wish I would have kept my my letter I got from Extreme because I was it was one of the Wizard Worlds and at Chicago, and I ran into Matt Hawkins, and he told me to call the receptionist, and they'd send out like a sample script, and they sent out a Joe Bennett Supreme issue, and I wish I would have kept that stuff just to still have it.
Yeah,
because that was one of those opportunities I wish I would have jumped at, even though I think around the time I got that, the industry was kind of not very stable. Not that it ever was.
Joe Bennett was getting work on Supreme, probably not. When they started moving over to using the Brazilians.
Yeah.
Roger Cruz, Joe Bennett, Manny Clark, Mike Deodato.
Yeah.
Al Rio. Those were all the Brazilians. Those were actually studio. I don't think a lot of people know. Those weren't individuals. Those were studios, guys.
Yep, those were all.
So like Richard Bennett was actually the small panel artist for Roger Cruz, and so was Al Rio. Al Rio was part of that too. It was really weird the way that, but those dudes would crank out books, man. They were getting books done. They were getting books done. 2 weeks, you get a 24-page book back.
That's crazy. I guess when you have a studio working on a book.
They were an animation studio that went out of business.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what they were. Yeah. Deodato was not, but he also was. I think he was doing some comic work before for continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked his 90s stuff. Like I've got a Glory trade paperback that he did. I liked his older
Yeah.
stuff. His stuff now is too realistic. I don't like that.
Well, he uses, yeah, if you go on his Instagram, you'll see he actually shows you how he traces photos and clip. It's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just use
I
AI?
like his Wonder Woman stuff. I know it's
Yep.
completely Jim Lee derivative, but I love it. I still love that stuff.
Oh yeah. That was my favorite period of his art. And he didn't God
He had a lot of stuff in there too that was like straight out of Pit, man. Do you remember that? The big muscular guys and stuff. It was like
oh
very,
yeah.
very like Zoevodish, like yeah, this stuff's cool though. Like, because no one else was really doing that. No one
No.
else was really ripping Dale. They were all too busy ripping
Too busy
Jim
probably
and
too scared to rip off Dale. That dude's
well, Dale's got other influences. He's got a little bit of Wrightson. He's got a
yeah.
little bit of Alan Davis in there too, for sure. So, what's your work schedule looking like, Mike?
Right now we're on our shutdown from the day job. So I'm off. I was off last week and I'm off this week. And I've got uh luckily the grandparents took all the kids for yesterday, and then we pick them up on Wednesday. And Tuesday is our 8-year anniversary, so we're gonna probably go get some dinner tomorrow
Oh,
night.
congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Didn't think I was gonna make it to that one, but things change. Definitely. Are you guys still looking at moving or no?
I don't know. My wife's got a job with, she's working with, is it NBC?
Oh, okay.
Remote. So,
I just remember when like
and
she
then
was
I got,
working for
well,
NASA.
I got classes right now too, starting up pretty soon. School's starting up. I'm taking um, some computer animation courses, some
Nice.
computer modeling stuff. Um, yeah, just some different stuff, man. We got to talking about it, and he was like, that was one of the reasons why I actually didn't stay in gaming for like a full time gig was because everything I was doing there was uh, essentially 2 dimensional. Even with the
Yeah.
portrait painting, it was stuff that's you can get artists to do that anywhere, really. These days, too, everyone's digital, so you can find uh, what they need done. I feel like it'd be very easy to find someone to do it. So,
Well, that's sad.
but that's gaming. Gaming has a. Someone was asking me about that. I would say like a 3 year.
Shelf life for a job.
The average indie gaming company only lasts 3 years. That's like
That's
an actual stat. Yeah.
that's crazy. No wonder
Because what
Joe Mad's
happens
been through so
is,
many.
yeah, even Joe Mad can't get it to work, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's turned over. One of the guys I used to work with actually used to work with Joe Mad, and Joe fired him because he just didn't get along. But he had some stories about that. Joe was given free reign on what was that game? Um,
Darksiders.
yeah, that's what my buddy worked on that. He was a programmer, and he had told me some stuff about that too. That game was doomed from the beginning. It got a little bit of push from like media because of Joe's attachment,
Yeah.
but it just didn't. It really didn't do good. Most of these companies are investor based,
Yeah.
so when you don't have investment returns in a short, that's the problem. Is a lot of these investors are not looking long term. They want a short term investment,
Yep. So
and
broke my heart with awesome entertainment was I loved every single book that came out of that time period, and when that one investor decided to leave, it just closed up shop, and I was like, oh great, all these great comics that I like are gone now.
Right. Yeah, I don't know much about that. I wasn't there for that. Jimmy J told me a little bit about some of it because Jimmy J was involved with that arcade.
Yeah, yeah, he was with
Yeah,
Arcade. I think he was with Awesome too, wasn't he? I think so.
he's attached to almost him and Rob are really close. He's attached
Yeah,
to like everything he does. Yeah, but Jimmy's a good guy. I like Jimmy a lot. Jimmy's always been very um, supportive of my stuff.
it's always good to have somebody, especially that owns a shop.
Right.
I've been I've been lucky. I had one shop that was probably the only reason I was still drawing before uh, I hooked up with Mark, and they just kept, they're like, oh yeah, we heard from so and so that you draw, and you should come in and you
Mhm.
should do sketches, and if you want, I'll just pay you a flat rate and you just do them for free or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
It was nice, and it kind of got the wheels back rolling because I did a lot of drawing in the '90s, and I did some self publishing in the '90s, but when the bubble burst, it kind of like was like kind of what was the point, because I knew I wasn't good enough to take one of the jobs from the top guys, and that's all the only people that would
Well,
probably
that's
still be
all.
left.
It's all a revolving door, though. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a revolving door, and that's why I say, man, the indie thing really fixed a lot of. I think it fixed a lot of things for ability to crowdfunding did it. I should say more so than
yeah,
indie, because a lot of these crowdfunded books don't need to be crowdfunded. They just do it for the sake of it's a cash grab, you know.
yeah. Oh, this is I'm drawing one of
What's up?
the characters, then because it basically broken the guy's back to have him bend backwards. I'm like, oh, Platt, oh, Platt. That's all right though. People will understand what it's from, hopefully. Oh yeah, I was gonna. This is kind of a personal question, so I don't know if you want to answer it or not. I've been meaning to.
Oh,
I mean,
hold on.
you've
Bat
kind
on
of
my face. Bat on my face is brother was a programmer, moved 5 times 10 years. Yeah. Yep.
you know,
Anyways, Mike. Yeah. No, that happens a lot, man. In video games. If you only do video games, that's for sure.
yeah. I knew some guys that worked for Ravensoft, and they got hired based on it was the guys that used to draw Legionnaires,
Mhm.
Jeff Moy and WC Karani, and I would talk to them at shows in Chicago, and they're like, yeah, I showed up my first day and I told everyone to, we're gonna start sketching, and all these kids looked at me like I had done to change the carburetor out of a Model T, and so basically
Right.
he got taught by them how to use the computer, and he taught them how to sketch, and said it's definitely interesting, but I don't even know if Ravensoft is even around anymore.
Might have been absorbed.
Probably. I don't really talk to those
My
guys
old,
anymore.
my old company, they changed their LLC, but they continued with the properties with a new series of investors, is what they did. I don't really understand it, man. I don't understand big business.
Me either. It's like if you don't have the money to do something, then you don't do it. That's always been kind of the way I've been raised was, gosh, I want a Ferrari, but I don't have the money for it, so I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna
Mhm.
take out a loan to get one because I feasibly can't afford it. It's just kind
Yeah.
of, and I understand some businesses need to grow that way, but I think once you become, well, like the business, like the place I work for a construction and agriculture company. I'll just say that. I won't say their name, but they used to be a family owned company. And when they're
Mhm.
family owned, there were, when I got hired, there was people that were there from the early 70s, and they were like, yeah, they'd come in and they would know you by your first name, and they'd ask how your kids are, they'd know your kid's name. And then when they went public, they were like, this is the people who took over were like, this is now this is a business, this isn't a family, you're going to do your job or you're going to see the door. And so basically everything that everybody loved about working at this place was
Mhm.
gone,
Gone. Yeah. Yep.
all for the almighty shareholder.
Well, those owners really, it's a payday.
Yeah.
You know who I have a lot of fun watching them draw, but they don't. There's not a lot of material out there of them doing it besides shorts. Is Wills.
Oh
If you ever
yeah.
watch, if you ever watch Portacio draw, it's
Yeah.
fun.
It's crazy how he's changed his style and how he uses those Pentel uh, rollerball pens now. It's
Yeah, I got a few of those.
I can't figure out how he works them.
You
So
gotta
I
you
bought
gotta get
some.
used to them. Yeah, yeah, I got them too. They're difficult. They're difficult if you're inking pencils. If you're just freehand drawing with them, they're easy.
Yeah.
That might be the trick. You might have to just freehand the shit. So get it right.
Or just, be Will's Portacio and then it's just easy.
He's very he's very carefree with his stuff. So
Yeah. I've always liked Will's. I've liked his stuff. His stuff I've always been a bigger fan of than Jim's, just because
same.
Jim's
Yeah.
is always a little bit more stiff and Will's has had more life and
You know what though?
energy.
Jim's a master though, man. I was watching some old video from like 8 years ago last night on was that the VZA channel? I think it's VZA. I had it
Yeah.
on up here while I was sketching, and he's it. I like watching. You can see his brain operate while he's working.
Oh yeah.
He'll draw a full thing, and then he'll come across and erase the whole thing, and then
Yep.
he'll take a figure he completely sketched, erase it, scoot it over an inch and a half so you can see that one character's arm.
Yep.
I'm just like, that's dedication, man.
Yeah. When
That's like,
he puts
I don't have that.
his Twitch streams over on YouTube, those are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He had one set was it was like a week he was doing that Superman or Action Comics 1000, and he had
Uh-huh.
to do like he did like one video was like 5 hours long, and it was like how to do 3 pages in 2 days, and he goes through layouts and erasing and starting and erasing, and it was funny because it would upset people that he wouldn't wipe the eraser away and he would just draw through the eraser, and people were like that. It was like some weird thing, like nails on a chalkboard to some of the people that were watching
Yeah.
it
No,
live.
it bugs me too, dude. I've seen him do that. It's very cringy. It's like, like wipe it away. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll erase it and then he'll draw through it, and you can see you can see the pencil drag an eraser bit, and you're like, dude, just like wipe it.
Yep. He ain't got no time for that.
Jim
Apparently.
Lee.
That's right. Jim Lee or Godly?
And Jim Lee.
I'd love to have been a fly on the wall in those comic book greats videos in the studio.
Oh yeah.
I think that whole thing was filmed in one day. I think all those videos were one day.
I always like
But
watching the Ramita Jr. one because I'm a
uh,
not so much of his like his 80s stuff and his early 90s stuff. I'm a huge mark for John Romita Jr. because he's the first artist I actually took notice of. Like, oh, somebody does this, because it was his Amazing Spider-Man run, and I was like, wow, everything seems real. Like nothing seems made up. Like Kirby would make stuff up, and you'd have all those weird template circles for a wall, or like Rob would do, but
right.
he was always trying to like Ramita Jr. was always trying to like take a dig at the Image guys. He's like, I don't want to name names, but people cheat too much. I'm just like, dude, calm down.
Well, he was watching these dudes pull 6 times what he made a month. Is
That's
what
true.
it was. That's what it all comes down to, guys.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna hate the table, the head of the table.
Yeah. But I like those videos. Those were always fun. Always fun to watch Rob try to talk over Todd, and then Todd just kind of put him in his place.
Oh, Todd used to emasculate the shit out of Rob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder where Rob learned how to do that.
Yeah.
I learned it by watching you.
Mm-hmm.
But he took it because that was his. Those are the dynamic duo at the time.
Something.
I know. I don't know. I don't. That's like battered housewife syndrome. It's like, why do you stay? And it's like, well,
I think Rob definitely was the one to gain from that
oh
relationship.
yeah,
Though.
oh yeah.
Todd lending inks to those covers was what was getting kids to buy them.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah,
pretty
those
sure.
New Mutants covers were bomb because of his.
Todd was already a name when that was going on.
Yep.
Because I remember seeing you would see his name, and as a younger kid, you're thinking that's his work. You're not thinking, oh, you just inked this, because his name's in the actual signature. How much of that was going on, you know?
Probably a lot. Not that Rob would ever admit to it. He'll always have his version of the truth. I tried listening to his Robservations podcast. Some of it's interesting. Some of it's just kind of like, you're really twisting that to, make you out to be the good guy here. I'm not buying it.
He does that a lot. He's always been that way. Yeah, Rob is he's done that all the time. He did that back in the day too. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
You could have literally been at the same thing he was at, and his story is like not what happened.
That's true.
He's a stretcher of the truth.
No,
but it makes it hard to call it because it's not on everything. Some stuff he's actually very literal, and it's true.
Yeah.
So it's like calling the bullshit on the bullshitter, because it's like some of it did happen that way, but those other 3 things did not go down like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was gonna actually, I turned my computer on, was gonna stream, and then I popped up YouTube, because I always grab all my info off my old stream for the StreamYard thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw you were live. I was like, what? He's live.
I know.
That's when I hopped in. I was like, all right, cool. I like not having a host drawing streams. I wish more people did them.
Oh, I'm gonna try. Just all depends on. I'm gonna have some time off here soon, because I've got to have
the Dave Mac.
surgery.
Yeah, Jason calls this my Dave Mac. Yeah, look, Jace, I finished my David Mac. I did this on Jason's channel.
David Mack wishes he could do that.
The underpainting on it, I did on Jason. Well, I did on I started on mine, and then we moved the stream over to Jason's.
Yeah,
People follow it over there. Yeah.
it was a great piece, man.
Well, I got 15 more sheets of that stuff, so I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna get them done before my because my next year is my 30-year pro, and I'm gonna do a hardcover, man. Talk to my wife about it.
Nice.
It'll probably be limited just because they're expensive to make. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do a hardcover just to because I don't know if I'll get a 40. You know what I'm saying? No one's promised tomorrow, so
That is very
I'm
true.
gonna definitely get my 30-year book out, and I want it to have a bunch of stuff in it that people have like never seen, unless you're following YouTube. You know,
Yeah.
for most people, I think they're gonna see it and be like, "What the hell is this? Like, this is not something in a comic, really."
I wish I could find the files to or the person who has the files. I wish they could find the files to the stuff I had published in the 90s.
What's who who had it? Like, who's the colorist?
Oh, it was a black and white book. Um, but it was a company called Cathartic Comics,
Uh,
and we did 2 black and white books. One was called Cathartic Jam, which had a couple stories in it, and one of them was the majority of it was me.
you
And
didn't save you didn't save any photocopies of this stuff, Mike?
I've got the books. I guess I could
You
probably
could always
scan those
Yeah,
in.
you can always scan them. It's going to take a lot of touch up, but you can do it definitely.
Yeah. It's just funny to see where I was then, and if I would have, I wish I would have kind of kept, not been discouraged by the way the industry was going, and just kept going, just to see where, like, artistically I would have landed. I think
Yeah.
would have been fun.
Well, uh, I think money being a motivator is a bad thing for any industry. You should like definitely worry about the craft first,
Yeah.
and if the finances follow, good for you. If they don't, so be it. You worked on something that's really epic, and um, yeah, we joke about that all the time here, dude. People always ask me, what do you miss about the '90s? I'm like, the paychecks.
Hell yeah.
I miss making 2,200 take home a week.
That'd be
That was actually a high. I used to do about 800 take home a week, but there were a few weeks where I like had to help Rob get stuff cranked out.
That's sad because that's like 800 is still more than what I take home every week working at
There
a
was
supposedly
also,
good
I
job.
mean, there was also people there though who were on monthly books that were only pulling 250, 300 because they weren't getting the work done. So it's just you get paid for production, not for existence.
Yeah.
With that place, comics is.
It wasn't all Candyland. How's the baby doing?
Baby's doing great. God, he's crawling. He's learning to pull himself forward now, but I think he's in a bigger hurry to stand than anything.
Yeah.
He pulls himself up and just a ray of sunshine every morning. So it's like the whatever sleep you didn't get is worth it just for him to smile at you.
Yeah, babies are sweet, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping these next couple months go
My
really
daughter
well.
talks back to me now, so it's interesting.
Well, I've
My
got
first,
17,
my sweet
15,
baby.
13, 5, and 8 months. So I get all different versions of talkback. It's the innocent
Yeah.
talkback from the 5-year-old, and then it's the purposeful talkback from the teenagers. And it's just like, okay.
Well, the younger ones will emulate the older ones too, so
Yeah.
it makes it difficult.
That's why the 5-year-old beats the crap out of the older ones, because they're always hitting each other. I'm always like, stop hitting each other. And then he starts beating the crap out of them. And they're like, he's hitting us. It's like, who do you think taught him? You guys did.
Right.
That's your fault.
Right.
I think it's hilarious letting a 5-year-old child beat you up. Go get him, Louie. Go get him. Oh, might have to go soon because I think the wife is going to be on her way home from work.
Oh, you're good.
Might go do something.
So what book stuff are you doing right now?
This still working on issue 3 of Tin Soldier, which has U.S. Assassin in. I've got 4 pages left. I just finished 2, and then U.S. Assassin Volume 4. I don't know what the final page count is because I don't have all the script yet. But I'm like 3 pages behind on the script, so I'm nipping at his heels. And then just finishing up all the commissions from March and getting those shipped out, and preparing for my next surgery. So we will hopefully that won't put me out, so I can actually still do some drawing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the wifey's home, so I'm gonna split. Thanks for coming on, Shelby.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
I'll probably start a live stream right now, just because that's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna go check to see if I need anything done with the family. Today's my laundry day, so I just got back with laundry.
Nice. Yeah, I just started some downstairs too. Guess I'll have to go check on that now. All right, cool. Well, everyone that's in the chat, go jump over to Shelby's stream and watch him finish this awesome Ed Piscor Red Room sketch cover. Talk comics. And I'll see you guys later.
All right, guys.
And boom.